So I pulled over here on the side of the road to show you this, for those who haven't seen it. So this is the way this tree breaks down. All these pieces out there. So that little piece right there, and all these little pieces there, over there, are just little pieces like this that have broke down into smaller pieces. This is what the tree does. And when I showed you the hillside and this was tipped up, all this is covered by the thin layer of vegetation, and what you see protruding above the ground are just these little pieces. And then you'll have other pieces that broke off and are laying like that, or they got carried away and they're other places. So you'll see this and it'll continue breaking down. This is what the tree did, and then it petrified. There are places I've shown in my videos where this gap right here, this gap is anywhere from 10 foot to 50 foot that you could walk in between these gaps. So we've been walking on top of one of these branches, and you could walk between these gaps. I'll try to find a picture to put in here. But that's how large these branches were. And you see this right here, okay? I want you to remember this right here, okay? Because I'm going to show you something. And actually, I think I might have just passed it. Yeah, I just passed it. But you'll see where under the ground, all the thin layer of vegetation is on top, and you see it sticking out like that. Maybe I'll try to find the picture and put it in here to show you. But you see over here, see how this is all strewed about? All these pieces like this, see how they break down? All these pieces. And then they got carried away. And they're laying everywhere. All these little tiny pieces like this. That would be one of these little tiny pieces off of here, like this. Just so small compared to what it came from. This is what the tree does. Okay, all of this. And then you have so many different kind of examples of different knots and where the branches came out, but on a scale so large. You know, all these little pieces like this, you could replicate them on a giant scale of how trees break down and where branches come out. And all the different way the wood twists and turns, especially in the cedar. And then you got the bark. That's a whole different story. But this is what turned into the mica right here. This turned into mica, the bark of the tree. Don't know how, but it did it. But this is just the way the trees break down. There could be like the piece sticking up like that out of the ground. And then this was broke off. See, when these break like this is like a natural break with the flat edges and ledges. This was busted off. And you see this, I've shown you where these protrude out of the ground everywhere. Let me just show you. And this piece, you can see the jagged edges. It doesn't have the flat edges like this. Right here, the way them have the flat edges. And ledges, that's a natural breakdown. This massive piece right here was busted. It was snapped off. Show you. Just like right here. All these little pieces that you see. This piece goes all the way up. It's under the road, it's everywhere. But that little piece right here, it's just the way the tree breaks down. You see that? This is a massive, massive piece. But it's so small compared to the size of the tree that it came from. This is probably 40 feet across, and it goes back for miles. And you see, it's all just wood. See this? It's incredible. That's how the pieces break, just like I showed you. Just like this, because they're like fibers. And it goes on and on and on. Okay, like just for example, there's one little piece right here. That's just one of them little pieces that broke off from another piece and another piece. That's how massive they were. Everything under this grassland and them hills is the same thing. It's just covered by a thin layer of vegetation, just like here. This is what's protruding. So, and you look right here, and you'll see this is the petrified sap. The quartz is the petrified sap. The gold runs in the quartz. Gold and quartz always run together, just like copper. You won't find one without the other. It was part of the tree. For whatever reason, and then you have asbestos, which is a fire retardant and insulator. It was also part of the outer part of the tree. Feldspar is part of the tree. All of it, just about every, if not all, the minerals and metals are a product of the biblical trees. I'm telling you. Hey, this is the sap, just like that quartz vein. But it would, I don't know. It's really hard to show because it's such a massive, massive deception. It's just as big of a deception as the ball Earth. It's ridiculous. That sun up there, where the heck is it? That sun travels all the way across the sky. Let me just get back and show you. So I want to show you this. I showed you how far this goes down. It goes on and on and on. Okay? And this right here, being on top of this, if we were to walk on top of that all the way back, okay, it would be like this piece here, or that piece there, being a mile long or longer, and we're just walking on the top of it. And then these are like the pieces that you see sticking out, just like this. So this would be the start of it, where the road is, where I showed you, and it just goes back. Look at this over here. So let me just show you one more time, just for the people that haven't seen it or don't understand or don't know. So you see the way the tree breaks down, okay? Let's grab this piece. And then all these little pieces break off. Okay, so we'll take a piece right here. Okay? This piece here, this tiny little piece, would be equivalent to that. And walking on top of that, the rest of it's underneath. That's like the top. And you'll see here, this is just one of these little pieces. And it's a natural break. Just like here, it's got the flat edge. Okay? And then you see right here, this is the sap that petrified the quartz in the tree. Like I say, the gold runs in the quartz. You'll never find one without the other unless it's broken out and got distributed in the rivers and floods. But originated in the tree. It was part of God's original creation. For whatever reason. You know, whatever the energy was, whatever the purpose was, it's hard telling. But one more time, like any of these places I've shown you in all my videos, walking along the top of that one, the top of that one, the top of this one going up, would be equivalent to walking on top of here for miles long. And we're just walking along and you see all these pieces, and you see pieces like this all laid all over. You see this right here? I just pulled off that tree. This piece. This piece would be equivalent to that. Right there. Okay? So really quick, I'm going to show you just the outside circumference of just one branch. This is a radius that goes all the way down, and it comes up with a slight radius going all the way up and around. So this piece is higher, so all this is missing, coming all the way down, all the way down. Maybe 1/10 of this branch is above ground. It goes all the way down, all the way up, all the way up and around, all the way down and under the ground. And it's a branch that's hundreds of feet, thousands possibly in diameter, and it goes all the way down for this way for miles. And I'll put a video in here of how what you see here. I'll put a video in of the modern day where we're walking like ants in between all the pieces, all the ledges and edges, and all the gaps in between all the pieces that I'll show you. Like there's a gap right there, but I'll show you. And if you come right down here really quick, and it goes on and on and on and on. This face right here, this branch, there's another one here and here and here, and we're walking up on it. It's just the way the trees break down back then and in modern day today. You'll see this is all just wood. All of it. You can't tell a lot of it because of the lichen and the moss that's on it right here.
you see here, this is all just part of one massive branch, and it's the radius. It goes all the way down and around, and it goes all the way down. And this is not the end of it, it's just a part of it. So much is weathered, but if you watch my videos, you understand what you're looking at. It's beyond incredible. It's all weathered and worn. And like I said, the trees are like fibers. See this here, I'll show you up. This is a slight radius going all the way up, and it goes way down under this ground, and it goes this way for miles and back that way. And they crisscross like pickup sticks. And you'll see this is all just wood. All right, I'm going to continue on with this video here. Let's see what's at the bottom here. But this just continues down. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. This is so steep right here. You see, this continues going down into the ground, and it goes up. And you see over there, there's more of it, and it goes on and on and on. There's another gap right here, just like this gap. And we're walking through this massive branch, going back for miles and going this way for miles. It's truly incredible.